Carrie, I would love to get your answer to the question of how much house can people afford?
Well, I did a story for the Globe and Mail a little while ago, and I wanted to see how much $1 million buys you in Toronto. It turns out it's not much, but as I crashed all these open houses, I couldn't believe some of the questions prospective home buyers were asking. They were wondering how much above price the house was going to go for. And the real estate agent would always say, how much has the bank approved you for? And I would get really nervous because the bank is not your friend. The bank is a business. And that 40% debt service ratio number that they're using doesn't take a lot of factors in consideration when you get approved for that big whack of cash. So I like to tell people before you accept that number, think about how much after-tax money you actually make. Think about how much you need to save, because that number doesn't account for a savings of 10%, right?
Right. So you made a great point here, and that is the bank's measure of how much you can afford is not a real world number, and you can actually afford less than they're going to give you.
Well, I think in a lot of cases, yes, because again, they doesn't account for, do you have RSP savings? Are you saving for your kids' education? Do you have daycare expenses? So people can get over their head really quick if they go to the limit and they take the money that the bank offers.
Okay, so the answer to the question then is however much the bank says you can afford, the real answer is less than that.
Absolutely. You got to use common sense. You have to use your own math. You have to sit down and see what your goals are and be able to save for those goals and put away for retirement without having that house just, that burden of that mortgage crush you.
Okay, thanks, Carrie.